Hello YouTube, this is Mr.Calypso 84 here, and today I'm in my garage to show you guys how to make a simple knife out of these putty knives here, like these. Stay tuned. For this project you're going to need a few things. First thing, an angle grinder. Well, you don't necessarily need an angle grinder, but it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. For this particular video, you'll also need either a bench vise or a large C-clamp. The bench vise will make your life a lot easier as well. You could also use a bench grinder or a bench sander, but those are completely optional. You can do all this with an angle grinder, or heck, if you have enough determination, you can do it all with files. I wouldn't recommend doing it with files though, because it will take forever. If you've got a lot of patience, you can do it that way, but I don't have a lot of patience, so I'm going to be doing it with an angle grinder, bench grinder, and my bench sander. So, yeah. So the first thing you guys are going to want to do is take your knife and draw out whatever kind of pattern you want to make on it. Also, if it's rusty, clean it off. As you can see, those others were extremely rusty, covered in rust and all that. Just clean it off and draw however you want your pattern on. Once you get the knife to a good pattern, you're going to want to start shaping it out. I'm using the bench sander for this, of course. It's really complicated to do, holding the camera and the knife at the same time, and it's probably really loud. So I'm not going to be filming this part. So yeah. Okay, now that you've got your knife ground down to the shape you desire, or whatever, you're going to need to start beveling it. And if you want, you can also shine up the edge of the knife. Now, in order to bevel it, you're going to need a bucket of water nearby handy, just in case, you know, your knife is starting to get too hot. Because if your knife starts to blue on the edge, it will pretty much ruin the knife's edge, and you'll have to ground it down again. So make sure you keep a bucket of water handy just to cool it off as you're beveling it, because if you don't, you're really going to have a bad time, because it's going to ruin your knife, basically. And the stuff you want to watch out for is like that right there, that little spot of blue on that blade right there. If that starts to form on the edge of the knife, down through here, you're going to have to either start over, or, well, I mean, you don't necessarily have to start over, but you're going to have to grind it out. And if you leave it like that, your knife won't really hold a very good edge. It'll just... It's all explained in heat treating and all that. I mean, you won't be able to heat treat this knife. So if it does start to blue, yeah, it's gonna mess it up. I'll show you the next step after I bevel it. Okay, now that you have your bevel ground and edged properly and everything, all you need to do, if you sharpen it and all that jazz, is take it to a sharpening or whetstone or something and hone the edge up. And your knife is pretty much done. You can do whatever you want to it after this. And yeah, this has been Mr. Calypso 84, teaching you how to make a knife from a simple putty knife. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya.